This is DRF Race of the Day. Hi, everybody. Dan Illman and Mike Beer, the DRF Race of the Day for Wednesday, October the 20th. Race number 6 at Keeneland. Let's throw up the field for a high-quality, high-level allowance race for fillies and mares going a mile and a 16th on the turf. You can download free Formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Access them, handicap along with us. Lots of stakes class horses in this race, Mike.
Yeah, it's a high quality allowance race, as you said. I mean, there's, to me anyway, there's one sort of standout on class in this race. That's the one Daddy is a Legend. We'll see if she can show up and run her best race here. If she does, she's going to be very tough.
Curious to what you think about the Timeform US pace projector. They've got the two. Princess Causeway, who's a tactical horse, expected to make the lead. She does have speed, but I think the 6, I'll handle the cash. Her best way of going is when they send. I think she's going to make the front.
Yeah, I think they'll probably try to send her to the lead as well. It sort of seems like it's the only way she can win, Dan. I agree with you. Princess Causeway has plenty of speed from the inside, but I think the 6 is going.
Daddy is a Legend is a multiple grade 3 stakes winner. She's dropping out of 2 grade 1s. The 4-star Dave was a race in which she just was sort of buried down inside, and she finished okay in the stretch. I think she had a little bit more trouble than it shows on paper. I don't think she would have won with a clean trip, but she ran quite well. And in the First Lady, she had no chance. A race that blowout controlled on the front end, and she just didn't break and was far, far behind. She loves Keeneland.
She does. It is a real question, though, as you've just mentioned in the First Lady last time, where she actually ran a pretty decent race with no chance to win it. It's a problem for her because she very often doesn't get out of the gate very well. And it really cost her in the First Lady. Once she broke slowly, she got bumped. She was last in a race where you just couldn't be trying to close and make up that much ground. She actually ran okay last time. As you mentioned, she ran really well in the 4-star Dave. Also, she's just really good, Dan. And, the last time they ran her in an allowance race here at Keeneland back in April, she won, and she won that race a lot easier than it looks on paper.
And in the fall of 2019, they dropped her into an allowance race at Keeneland, and she won that race very easily. She's 3 for 6 at Keeneland. It could be 4 for 6 if she didn't jump through the fence in the grade 3 Valley View in 2018. To say she's been trouble-prone throughout her career has been an understatement, but she's the one to beat. As for Princess Causeway, solid form. She's coming in off a 5th-place finish at Kentucky Downs behind Princess Grace, who's really, really good right now. Her prior efforts were solid. I think if she needs this Timeform US pace projector to prove correct, however, she probably needs to improve just a little bit to beat the big names.
She probably does. Trips can go a long way in races like this, though, and I do think she's going to get a good one with her inside draw and tactical speed. Maybe she won't make the early lead, but I think she will be up close anyway. That race last time at Kentucky Downs, which, there are plenty of ways to excuse races like that anyway. But she just was part of a pace in a race that went to closers. I thought her effort 2 starts back at Ellis Park, I thought that was a really good performance, Dan. That was a very solid pace. She was chasing it the entire way and stayed very gamely.
Past the Plate is the number 3. Very versatile filly trained by Paul McGee. Stakes winner at a mile. 3rd in a graded stakes race at Keeneland going a mile and a half. Second start off of a minor layoff. She ran that One Dreamer last time out. Now that's a restricted stakes race. This is a step up in class. The runner-up Sweet Melania from that race came back to run second in a 3 other than allowance with an 87 buyer.
I do think this is a tougher race. I mean, she was also in that Ellis Park race 2 starts back with Dominga. I thought she ran okay that day. Boy, she's just such a deep closer to me, though, Dan. I just feel like this race is really going to put her up against it because I don't really see a ton of speed.
As with both the number 2 and number 3, the number 4, Dominga, also gets Lasix back on. Just didn't really do much in that One Dreamer. She was able to save ground, failed to fire as the favorite. I really hate to hold Kentucky Downs losses against horses. Just some don't really seem to like it. You throw out that race, she's pretty consistent.
She's very consistent. She's also pretty tactical. So I feel like she's another one who could get a decent trip in this race. I've actually been a fan of hers, and, she's lost to me a little bit, but she's still, pretty good. She could easily win this race, I think. I just sort of looked at the race 2 back then, the Ellis Park race, and I know that she finally got by Princess Causeway in the late stages of that race. I feel like Princess Causeway ran better than she did that day, so I would kind of rather have that horse.
Our baby Ruth is at the board in her last two for a very talented trainer, and Eddie Keneally. She caught a hot horse last time out at Colonial. Tuned has really found her best form as she's gotten older for Graham Motion. She came out of that race to win the All Along at Laurel as an odds-on favorite with a 90 buyer. That being said, while Our Baby Ruth is tactical and talented, this is a pretty big step up in class for a horse that won the Tropical Park Oaks in 2019.
Right. I mean, I just don't know if she's necessarily good enough. Assuming everybody, shows up and runs their best race. I don't know that I feel like Our Baby Ruth is good enough, but I do think she can she's another one who can get a good trip in here, Dan. She's a very handy kind of horse with plenty of tactical speed. I don't love her last race. The winner did come from last to win that race, so maybe she was a little too close to the pace. If you're trying to excuse it, I just didn't think she ran that well last time.
I'll handle the cash. Another horse getting Lasix again. And the last time she raced with Lasix, she was a gate-to-wire winner of a 3 other than at Saratoga, a race in which they basically handed her the lead up front. Well, there was no easy lead for her last time out in the One Dreamer. She got involved in a pace dispute. So I'm willing to throw out the One Dreamer. I'm willing to look at that 3 other than with a bit of a side eye, although realizing that if she can get to an easy lead, she is talented enough to take them gate-to-wire.
She is. It's also very interesting that Maker, since he's taken over, has decided that he's going to try to, keep her routing on the grass rather than sprinting, which her prior trainer was sort of adamant doing, just keeping her over shorter distances. Maker's going to stretch her out and keep her there. I don't know. I could go either way. Maybe she gets loose and wires this field, Dan, but I feel like the only way she wins is if she gets the trip that she got 2 back at Saratoga, where, as you say, they just handed her the lead and she walked in there. That was a really slow pace. I don't think they're going to go that slow early in here.
2 heavy favorites in this race on the morning line. We throw up our top picks. Mike's going with the 1. Daddy is a Legend. She's got all the class. This is a big drop. She loves Keeneland. There's just a lot to like for her. I like Dominguez's tactical speed. I really like that race. The last time she ran an allowance, I think it was at Churchill Downs going a mile and an eighth, where she toyed with a field that was overmatched. But Daddy is a Legend, Mike. She's probably the best horse on paper.
Yeah, she is. I mean, she's, maybe not that easy to take a short price on, even with the class drop in, because we've already pointed out she's very trouble prone in her races. Maybe it works against her again. I just think she's better than these horses.
1, 2, 4, 3 for Mike. 4, 6, 1, 3 for me. The Wednesday race of the day, the 6th at Keeneland. It has an approximate post of 3:40 Eastern. Good luck.